guys, and welcome to my channel. This channel is for students who are trying to do well on the Qudurat test, which is the GAT English version of the Qudrat test. So thanks for tuning in. Don't forget to subscribe below, and let's begin. By the way, this is going to be an 80-hour course which is going to help you prepare for the GAT English version of the Qudrat test. Okay, so let's take a look. What does GAT stand for? Okay, GAT, so it's General Aptitude Test. So let's write it. It's the General Aptitude Test. Now, what does aptitude mean? What does aptitude mean? Aptitude, A-P-T-I-T-U-D-E. Aptitude means that the Qudrat standardized test will be checking for your ability, your aptitude. So aptitude means ability. And how long is the test? For how many hours is the test going to last? And it's for 3 hours. The test will last for 3 hours. How many questions does the test have? How many questions does the test have? The test has 62 verbal questions. Verbal means in English. They're going to ask you to do things in English, like comprehend a small passage, or maybe fill in a sentence or do an analogy. So there are 62 questions, 62 questions for the verbal. Okay, and let's move the whiteboard a little bit. So it's 62 verbal questions, all right? And how many questions are for the quantitative or the math? The math quantitative part of the test is 58 questions. Okay. So that's, so 58 plus 62 will give you 120 questions. So let's review what we have done so far. The GAT is otherwise known as the General Aptitude Test. The General Aptitude Test. And what does aptitude mean? Aptitude means ability, okay? How long is the test? How long is the test? The test is 3 hours, just 3 hours, okay? So make sure that when you go to the test, you're not tired and, you know, you've slept and you've eaten something. It's very important to be properly prepared. And how many questions? How many questions does the test have? The test has 120 questions. 120 questions. 62 questions. 62 questions for the verbal, which is the English, and 58 questions for the math. Okay? So it's a total of 120 questions. My marker is running out. I have to change my marker. Let me change my marker here. All right, so it's a total of 120 questions. All right, so how many sections does the Qudrat have? And the answer is two sections. One verbal and one for math. it's one verbal and one for math. All right. Now, how many parts does each section have? Okay, so the verbal part has four parts, and okay, the math has 2. So you have 4 from the verbal and 2 from the math, or otherwise some people call it quantitative. So it's 2 for the math. So it's a total of 6 sections. So let's talk about the types of questions that you're going to have to answer. Okay? So what types of questions will you have to answer? And the answer is all the questions that you will have to answer will all be multiple choice. Now, what does that mean? Multiple choice means is when you have a question and then they ask you to choose either A, B, C, or D. Okay? So you choose A, B, C, or D, but they give you these little circles. All right. Now, when you go on your homework sheet, you will see a copy of the Scantron, the little dots, the little circles that you have to fill out. And I'm telling you, please be careful when you take the Qudurat GAT test and use a number 2 pencil. Now, there are pencils, if you look at the side of the pencil, here, let me get one. It's right here, okay? Now, this is a pencil, right? If you look at the side of the pencil over here, it actually has a number. Make sure it's a number 2 pencil. Now, you might say, well, what happens if it's not a number 2 pencil? If it's over a number 2, then it's fine. If it's more than, like if it says 2.5 or it says 2.1, it's fine. But if it is, let's say 1 point something, what's going to happen is the machine may not take it, may not identify the filling in of the circle that you will do. So make sure the pencil that you're going to use is a number 2 pencil. And let's say hypothetically this is your, this is the circle, okay? You have to fill in the circle carefully, all right, like this. You fill out the whole circle with your pencil. Make sure you don't go over your lines, because if you do, again, your answer, you might think, okay, I have everything right. Meanwhile, you may have done this, or you may have done this, or maybe you may have done this, and guess what? This answer is wrong, even if the actual letter is right. This answer will actually be counted as wrong because you haven't filled it out like this, okay? And make sure when you fill it out, you don't go over the line, all right? So the whole idea is give yourself the time to fill out the circles properly with a number 2 pencil. Number 2 pencil is very, very important. Okay, now what happens, a lot of people might say, well, teacher, what happens if my score is too low? Well, if your score is too low, you take the test again. It's that simple. And for your convenience, the highest score is actually sent to universities electronically. Okay, so let's say you take 3 or 4 Qudurat GAT tests, the highest grade will be sent to the universities electronically, so you don't have to worry about it. By the way, you can also receive your scores on your phone via SMS messages. You have to go to the NCA or the Qiyas.org website. I will have the information on the link below that's going to take you to my website. If you go to my website and you click on lesson number 1, you will see all the websites that you need to have in order to register for the Qudurat test and also to receive your grades. Now, for those of you who are, let's say, in Haya or Taif or in isolated areas and there are no testing centers near you, don't worry, don't panic, okay? there are actually mobile vehicles that come to your area and will allow you to take the test, okay? So don't panic, just ask your teacher. Your teacher probably know that about these mobile vehicles. They leave Riyadh where I am. I'm in Riyadh right now. So mobile vehicles are sent from Riyadh to different areas of Saudi Arabia so students can take their tests even if there are no testing centers. All right? So that's all there is. So what happens if your score is too low? Take the test again. And by the way, when you again, that's right. You're gonna say, oh, again, that's too much work. But trust me, when you take the test, it's good for you because it's a learning experience. So take it many times because even the experience of taking a test is actually gonna help you become a better student and also help you prepare for university, because this is what all these tests are about. The GAT, in addition to testing your ability because it's a general aptitude test, it will also enable you to become better students. All of these things that you go through help you become better students. And after you come out of university or high school or maybe perhaps you're going to get your master's, you will be very prepared for the career and for the career market, for where you're supposed to get a job, okay? So when you have to do a job, you're gonna have to be prepared. So all of this is preparing you so you are able to be better employees or better business owners or entrepreneurs. So this is all a process that's helping you prepare for what's up next. Okay, so what is the highest grade? What is the highest grade that you can get in the Qudurat? Well, the highest grade is 100. Now, you can try getting 100, but I have news for you. Even if you score an 81 and above, you're considered top 5 percentile. And that's an accomplishment in itself. So don't freak out and say, oh, I need to get 100, I need to get 100. Sure, I mean, it's nice to place high goals and everything, but you don't have to get 100 to be accepted to the best universities. Now, most universities count the Qudrat GAT English version of the test as 30 or 40% of their considerations. In other words, let's say if this is a pie, right? If this is a pie, a pizza pie, and this is the yes pizza pie, let's say this is the yes pizza pie, and you 30%, some universities count it as 30%, some universities count it as 40%, okay? So the GAT, the Qudurat, usually is counted by universities either as 30% or 40%, and then your GPA counts for the remaining. Now, if you have to take the SAAT also, then this part here, this 70 or 60%, okay, whatever's remaining from 30 to 70, and whatever's remaining from 40 to 60. Okay, so the remaining part, which is 60 to 70%, is your GPA. What does GPA stand for? Grade point average from high school. So this 60 or 70% counts for your GPA, and if you need to take the SAAT, which is another test. Now, if you don't need to take the SAAT, no problem, then your GPA, your grade point average in high school will count for 60 to 70%, and the Qudurat will count for 30 to 40%. So don't be worried, your GPA counts a lot more than the Qudurat. However, if you have a low GPA, then I highly recommend that you work extra hard to get a high grade in the Qudurat. Now, I give homework after every single lesson. You can get your homework, and I will let you know the answers in the next video. You can get your homework and do it at gatksa.com. This is the website. This is my website. This is where I put up my notes from this lesson. You can actually get notes from these lessons. I type them out, and also your homework, okay? So in the next video, I will actually answer the questions that I have given to you as a homework assignment. So that's it for now. This was my first video, my first lesson for preparation for the Qudrat GAT English version